It is time for the Loretta Kennel Club Dog Show at the Polysport Pond.
Big media crunch here as the P-Dub shaft class is complete. We have one more race that we're going to cover here on the Weege Show, which is the Micro E. That's the electric 50 class. And the reason I do the Weege Show during the P-Dub classes and the Micro is because they're not loud. So we could truly do a walk and talk. This is first championship day here at Loretta Lynn's Ranch. It's all brought to you by our friends at Race Tech and their Gold Valves. You know, you're making your suspension plusher, better bottoming resistance, more traction, and they're made and engineered in the USA, so no supply chain issues there. So go to racetech.com for more. They also do great engine services for pretty much everything except these electric bikes. That's on Thomas Edison. So let's talk about what we saw racing-wise at Loretta's. We covered the whole Global Supercross, World Supercross, Super Motocross, World Championship, and all that stuff in our previous show. Today we'll talk racing here at Loretta's. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
You're doing good, all right. Really dusty down here. She decided to put the mask on. It was getting to her. Is that Team Fried up there? You love the amateur scene, dude. You dig the amateur scene. You could have sold out. You could have been like, nah, man, I just do pro. You've been to every Supercross?
Yeah, pretty much. I missed Foxborough.
And every national.
Every national. I missed out on Freestone and Mammoth though, so I don't know how core of an amateur
stop. Okay.
I am now. But.
Yeah, but look, you're out your camera on the infield for the Mini E class. So I'm gonna say you haven't sold out yet. Someday he'll find some 16-year-old to do the work really, really cheap. That's the way Verb Moto would do it. Wes Williams, I'm looking at you. It's an amateur race. That's how these things work. So let's talk about what we saw at the amateur race today, and we're gonna start right off with the question you want to know is, how did Hayden Deegan do? First of all, Deegan is in the B class, not the top class. So technically this would be his next to last year at Loretta's, but we are hearing heavy rumors that that might not be the case. Hayden Deegan, because he was so good at the combine at Redbud a couple of weeks ago, and he rides with all the pro guys on stars, so they have a pretty good gauge of where he is. I am hearing rumors that they might bump him. Oh, what's up? It's gonna be the bolt-on show. You really tried that. Really? Hey, I got a torn ACL, bro. Okay, I'm in recovery mode. I took the brace off because people kept making fun of me. I had to take my knee brace off. There are heavy rumors that Star might just move Hayden Deegan into the pro class like now. Like not next year after A class, or not start at the first round of motocross next year as a pro, but right now. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. To move from B to pro, you actually have to, I didn't even know these rules still existed. You still have to earn your pro card. I think you'd actually have to do some local amateur days to get his pro card. So I don't know if he can even get in time to race. Let's see. It's not gonna be Unadilla because that's the very first race after this, but I don't know how quickly he can earn the points. And it's all on the rumor stage right now. I'm sure they're not gonna confirm everything because everything has to be secret. I'm not even sure why. Maybe we'll see him at Pala for the last round. But those are heavy rumors. Today, Hayden Deegan won his moto and had a 153 lap, which is about as fast as anything I've seen. Now, people can come at me at the comments if they discover there was a better lap and say that I'm just being super biased, because that's the way we are in the amateur ranks. We have to just claim that everybody's biased about everything. But Deegan had the fastest lap time I saw, and he won his moto. But he didn't win the class because we had a very odd thing happen at Loretta's this year. We had a ton of wheels break in the first races of the year on Tuesday when we first started racing, and people were trying to figure out why. Maybe the place washed out with all the rain we had, a huge flood, and maybe that brought some rock up. In Deegan's case, it was actually because Evan Ferry tipped over, and then Deegan tried to get around his fallen bike and caught his rear wheel on Evan Ferry's foot peg. So it scratched Deegan from any chance of the B-class title in that division. He did come back to win the moto at the end of the day, and he has a shot to win the title in his other class, Schoolboy, tomorrow. The title in that B class went to his old buddy, Dax Bennick. Now, there was a time where Dax Bennick and Deegan used to battle like ferociously. They were still best friends off the track. I think they're still pretty tight. They're just not both KTM riders anymore, so they probably don't see each other as much. And I remember a mud moto, I think on 65s, right here. This section was super muddy, super rutted, and I remember watching Bennick and Deegan battle through this section and have to put their 65s through these muddy ruts, and their control over the clutch and power in the mud. I was so amazed, so impressed. And that's when I knew right there that the Deegan thing wasn't just hype, and he had legitimate skills as a racer on a bike. He wasn't just a 10-year-old that did a backflip. And obviously since then, he's continued to rise up. I feel like he had pulled away from Bennick quite a bit at one point, but Bennick's gotten it back. He had a much better week this year than he has the last couple years at Loretta's, and Bennick ended up winning that B title. And like I said, they'll be back for more in the other B class tomorrow. And the other thing you want to know is, okay, that's B. Who's like the next kid coming up? Now, the big story was supposed to be Hymas versus Ryder D in the Pro Sport classes. What's up? Appreciate the support, everybody. But Hymas just continued to have a rough week. Another bad start in his moto today. It just wasn't a factor, regardless of why or what happened. He just wasn't a factor in any of his motos so far. DeFrancesco looked good at the beginning of the week. He wanted to go 6 for 6, that's what he said. But then a challenge from Caden Braswell. Caden Braswell, a gas rider who is one of the most articulate, fun riders to talk to on the podium. In a certain way, even reminds me of fellow gas rider Michael Moseman. He was like a machine, He ate up Ryder D in a couple of motos. In the final moto, he needed to beat Ryder D by 1 spot. He caught him, he passed him. There was Talon Hawkins on the Husqvarna between them. It's gonna be a little loud down here. I'm gonna go back this way. So Braswell was in position to win the title. Ryder D needed to put on a charge and at least get to second. And then his bike, I guess it broke. He just pulled off the side of the track and rode back to the mechanics area. I heard he said that his bike blew up, and that was the end of his title hopes. So Caden Braswell is your first Pro Sport winner of the week. They'll have another moto tomorrow in there's 2 Pro Sport classes. But Caden Braswell, whole nother level that from anything I've seen from him before. I mean, he was, I think, legitimately the fastest Pro Sport guy. Again, you can say in the comments, I don't know what I'm talking about. That's the way amateur racing works. But he was incredible. If he can carry this forward, we've got a whole new name on the scene coming through the ranks that I didn't have on the radar. It was an incredible ride, and he's like the nicest, most articulate young man you'll ever meet. Really impressive what Braswell was able to do. So once again, the favorite struggle at Loretta's. It's become a theme for a little while now. And I thought Ryder D was gonna be the one that was able to do it. Just basically run the table all the way from his 50, 65, 85 days. He missed last year because he had a broken femur and didn't get to ride B class. But at the beginning of the week, looked like he was gonna be back to his old tricks and like winning a ton, but it hasn't worked out. He got another shot at it tomorrow. But the only guy who's been winning pretty much everything each year he comes here so far is Deegan, and we'll see if he can get a title tomorrow, and we'll see if he even bothers to come back to Loretta's after that. Give an update after this mini E-class about anything else that's happening here on the Weege Show. You know what's a cool thing about electric bikes? They're so quiet you can hear the people cheer. And I can just talk about the racing as they go by. Championships all around. This is good stuff. Let's hear it for our 3rd place finisher. Hey, he brought us other medals. That is really smart. Now I know 2 thirds and a first. The medals make it easy to decode our champion, who is Cooper Langdon. All right, tell me about it, Cooper. How was that race?
It was good. I had a little bad start. I worked my way up, did all the obstacles. I cut down on Hinson in the corner bush. I braked early, checked up, down, and then, yeah, I just rode it on from there.
Dude, that's like Supercross style. Good stuff. Got a little Gravedigger logos on your bike. This is super cool. How do you celebrate a championship? What are you going to do now that you're done?
Just watch some races and have fun. Go in the creek and be a kid.
All right, go in the creek and be a kid. That's what it's all about. Who do you want to thank, Cooper?
My mom, my dad, my little brother Brody, my dog Roxanne, Fox Racing 100%, Slayco Axel Hodges, Stay Sick, and everybody else. Moto X.
Moto X Compound, yeah. Your dog's, what's your dog's name?
Roxanne.
Why did you name your dog Roxanne?
Because he's a famous motocrosser.
Ken Roxanne. He named his dog after Ken Roxanne. That is awesome. All right.
Shake it, shake it, shake it.
No, you gotta spray the crowd. Go that way, go that way.
I don't know how to do that.
Here, shake it. Put your thumb over it. Put your thumb over the top. Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up. Yeah, now let go. We're done. We ran out of fuzz. All right, that's a good time. You can even drink that. Yeah, there you go. We're having a good time down here at the podium. I'm gonna set it back up. Lots of traffic at Loretta as always. Bicycles, pit bikes, golf carts, you name it. Now I know when you're listening to this show and you're trying to figure out who the heck won what, it's just alphabet soup and it doesn't make any sense to you. So when you hear that Deegan wins the B class, and I know anytime someone talks about Deegan, he's an attention magnet, right? So there's only two reactions to him. You either love him or you hate him. You're either a huge Deegan fan because you like his YouTube channel and you think he's an awesome rider, or his YouTube channel you think makes him too popular and you're a hater and you want to see him lose. So when he wins, the first thing to say is, well, who did he beat? And that leads to people saying that he's sandbagging. Why is he even in the B class in the first place? And that led to my famous phrase that Brian Deegan never actually said, but I thought was hilarious, so I just said it anyway. Yeah, hooray to win his time, hooray to win his time. I know that people get mad and say that there's a trophy for everyone mentality, but there is not. There is not a trophy for everyone mentality when you get to the professional ranks. As a matter of fact, the Lawrence brothers win everything all the time, and the Lawrence brothers get all the attention all the time. See how that works? Definitely not a trophy for everyone mentality there. Here in the amateur divisions, you can't just judge why they have the classes they have. Hey, sit down, that's not safe. National champion Brandon Haas, where is he over there? What's he doing? Hey, slow down. Go on by, I don't want to cause traffic. This is the owner of Club MX came out and won his own title. Yeah. You won 30 plus. Look at that grin. Look at that grin.
He's got the heart. A kid asked him for his autograph today.
No way.
He's pumped.
Like one of the kids that you know from club or a rando?
Rando.
No way. You're like a real celebrity now.
Yeah, big time.
So what does Brandon Haas do to celebrate? Like, I know you live the healthy lifestyle and you're a grinder. So you're actually going to let yourself go just tonight at least?
We just went and got ice cream.
Wow. Crazy, crazy. I honestly don't know how you found time to do this. I know that everyone figures you own clubs so you can ride all the time. Same thing, Mike Brown dominates his motos. Were you in one of the Brownie motos?
No.
It's good, it's good.
Yeah, I don't want to race it.
No.
We let Kiefer do that.
But yeah, Kiefer has to take the ass whipping. But anyway, Brownie's like, I don't ride, I watch other guys ride. Yeah. You don't ride, I think, as much as people think.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe on average, probably once a week.
Okay.
I'm happy with that.
Yes, and that's your prep
But
coming into this.
when I want to ride, I got good tracks to ride, so I definitely have an advantage. It's not
Right.
like I'm at a disadvantage. I for sure have an advantage.
Do you spend more time watching people ride or
yeah.
riding?
Yeah, yeah. No, it's cool. Like that's, yeah, I've picked up on a lot over the years just watching.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right, good form.
Studied, yeah.
Congratulations. Brandon Haas won himself his own title. He's the 30-plus champ here at Loretta's. So the rules in the amateur ranks, don't just look at the riders that are winning. That's not what the rules are based around. The rules are based around the riders that are struggling to find their footing and trying to not discourage them so they leave the sport before they have a chance to show what they actually have. And that's why you get surprises like the Levi Kitchens of the world or the Justin Coopers of the world, who have now proven they have legitimate talent to win races at the pro level. But they needed their time, they needed their runway, and what you didn't want to do is have this winner-take-all, all the fast riders in one class immediately cauldron, and somebody wins and everybody else gets beat down and they leave the sport. Everyone develops at their own time, and eventually it's gonna be time. It's gonna be 250 class time, and even crazier, it's gonna be 450 class time, where someone like Chase Sexton has to beat Eli Tomac to win. And we're not handing out trophies for everyone. We're handing out one title between those two titans at the end of the year. So everyone develops at their own pace. And even on the Deegan side, right below those B classes is the 125 division, and Casey Cochran has been super fast there. And many people buzz about, okay, there's always an A and then there's a B. If there's a Lessie, there's a Villapoto. That's the storyline everybody likes to follow, right? So Cochran is one notch below Deegan in age, or really just the class that he's in, because he's racing the 125. So a lot of people are like, okay, maybe someday it'll be time and they'll meet up. And maybe Cochran will flip the script like we've seen with other riders before. That's Cochran right there. What's up?
Not much.
What's
How
up?
are you?
You just want to be on the show?
Yeah.
I like that. What's your name?
Michael.
Michael, right on. What are you doing here, Michael?
Just watching my stepdad race.
Oh, really? Right on. How's he doing?
Yep. He got 19th in the 50 master class.
Woo! That's
Yep.
some hard work. He beat half the field.
Yep.
That's good.
Hey.
Yes.
I see you on motocross all the time talking.
That's it. And that's all I do here. Same thing. Thanks for the encouragement.
Yep.
We'll
No
keep it up.
problem. Have a good one.
Now I got to host a talent show. Everybody has talent. You just never know when that talent is going to blossom. Can you believe the 250 class we have in pro motocross right now? We literally have two Lawrence brothers who were not on anyone's radar 5 years ago. Joe Shimoda, who was not on anyone's radar 5 years ago. And Justin Cooper, who 5 years and a week ago was not on anyone's radar. that's the time they needed to develop. We ended up with this rider from Japan and these 2 kids from Australia and this kid from Long Island, New York, who no one thought was going to be good, and they're the top 4 riders in America's 250 class. I don't think anyone thought there'd someday be a rivalry between Eli Tomac and Chase Sexton. What? They're completely different generations. Everyone develops on their own schedule. The amateur rules are built to allow that, not lose any of those riders before they get a chance to truly blossom and show their talents. So that's what we like to do in the amateur divisions. And when I use that phrase, you know, race when it's time, you know, the time will come. The time will come. It could be as soon as the Pala National, and maybe Deegan will race Ryder D finally there. And the Lawrence brothers will be there as well. Can you imagine that? This is actually the graduation ceremony for our on-track school. That's pretty cool. Jeff Emick's daughter is actually enrolled. She doesn't race motocross. She's an unbelievably awesome singer. But she, oh, this is really cool. So Fro is here to cheer his daughter on. Anyway, can you imagine the mashup? Someday we're gonna have the marketing might and the amazing riding of the Lawrence brothers with the marketing might and the amazing riding of Hayden Deegan, and they're gonna race each other. Probably gonna happen in the 450 class, where it should be. We don't have the trophy for everyone mentality at the very top. We just give everybody as much runway as they can, so when they get there, they're all ready to put on the best possible racing. That's the idea here. Wow, I never thought about Lawrence's versus Deegan. It's gonna be exciting, isn't it? See how that turns out. I guess we'll race them when it's time. And the time is coming really soon.